All right, we have a good amount of folks in the room with us, so we're going to get started. Thank you so much for joining today's hands-on workshop, Intelligent Data Warehousing and Data Analytics with Databricks SQL. I'm going to run just through a quick housekeeping slide and agenda, and then I will pass it to Sid for the rest of the session. So your connection has been muted. If you have any questions, please leverage the Q&A feature at the bottom of your Zoom. I will be active in the chat, so you'll see friendly reminders as well as the lab link being shared. And if we do not answer your questions throughout the event, we'll make sure to follow up afterwards. The session will be recorded, so we will aim to get that out along with the slides and lab link today or tomorrow early morning. And the lab will be active through end of day tomorrow, so you have time to hack and participate in the lab beyond this session. And then, as I said, we'll post the links and reminders in the chat. And then I will talk through the agenda quickly. If we can go to next slide. Perfect. So we just went through the welcome and introduction. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you are just joining us now, just a friendly reminder, we will be sharing the recording, slides, and lab link post-program. And then we'll have an introduction to Databricks SQL, and then the hands-on lab portion. We'll have a section for Q&A to answer any of the questions that come through live that might be applicable to many of you, and then we will conclude the event. So again, please leverage the Q&A chat at the bottom of your screen and look for friendly reminders from me in the chat. Without further ado, I will pass it to Sid to present, and you'll see the other folks on the line. They are here to answer any of your technical questions throughout the program. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Sophia. Hello, everybody. I'm Sid. I'm Senior Solution Architect at Databricks. I'm from Chicago, and I would like to hear more where you guys are joining from. So that will be our quick icebreaker. So while you type those answers on the chat, let me get into setting up your workspace. So if you have not already done this, I will recommend you to go into the link here, which is shared with you, and click on the registration. Register with your personal ID, and it will take a couple of minutes to launch the workspace. Once you get details on your email, access the workspace and sign into Azure and start the lab. So I'll give a couple of minutes for everybody to go over this, start their workspace. And if you have any questions, please post it onto Q&A channel. But while we are doing that, I'll slowly move to the next slide so we can continue the session. And as this session will be recorded, and if you're stuck with some issue, we can always give a couple of minutes for you to get started. Now, once you click on register, this is how you will see the workspace. Pearl has done an amazing job to put those slides in. So you should be able to click on register now, put your name here, add your details, talk about your organization, and click on submit. Once you do that, you will be able to get into the link, and then you will be able to launch the lab. Once you click on the launch the lab, you will see different environments with your username and password. So copy paste the provided workspace link here, and then use your username and password shared onto the screen. And once you click on the link, it will go into this specific page, which talks about Databricks sign on. You can click on single sign on, enter your email ID from the registration email, add the password which you got from the registration email. And once you have all those details, you should be able to get into the lab and get started. I already did my introduction, but again, whoever missed, I'm Sid. I'm Senior Solution Architect at Databricks, and I'll be talking about dbsql today and giving you a demo, and we will work together on the lab. So I'll give another minute for people to join in and get registration started. And once you guys are all in, we can get started with tech. For those who are looking for the link, Sophie has added the link into the chat window. So feel free to go to chat window and click on the link and follow the process of registration. That will give you email ID, that will give you password details, and you should be able to use that to log into the lab environment. Okay. So as people are going over registering into the lab, for next 15-20 minutes, we will not get into the lab. Rather, we will talk about what Databricks platform is. And then, I hope by then everybody was able to register and get their username and password. And then we can get started with the labs. Okay. So right now in the market, every company wants to become a data and AI company, but many struggle to do that. And main reason for that is because your data is silos. You use different governance, and there are different orchestration and ETL tools. And when you look at the journey of entire data and AI platform, right? So I started working into data and AI field more than a decade ago. And when we were working on any data and AI solution, people were either going for any ETL tool, and they had data on premise, cloud was not in the picture, and everybody was still using their local computer as databases, and probably there was another server located somewhere which was used for building reports and which was used for doing data warehousing. So most of the people were focusing on data warehousing many years back, and the prediction was not there yet. But with the lake house and with the time has changed, people are able to predict more, and they are able to understand what will happen down the line. And as this curve goes toward the upwards with AI and ML, people will be able to get more understanding into their data, and they will be able to get more insight, and that helps a lot to predict. I won't say predict future, but predict how market will turn, right? And that is where, for an example, many of my customers are trying to build, let's say, demand forecasting, where they will try to understand what is the demand in the market for specific item, and that helps them to manage their inventory and predict their revenue. Now, Databricks has invented and are champion of Lakehouse category. Long back when Databricks was built, uh, it was mainly used for machine learning, right? But then almost 10 years back, we came up with a paradigm which is called as Lakehouse, and everybody started following it. Now, if you go and if you try to work with any of the cloud provider, will it be Snowflake or Microsoft, etc., everybody talks about Lakehouse. Now, once we build a Lakehouse, it's good. It talks about machine learning. It talks about prediction. It gives you unified governance. But then, with the Lakehouse, you also need to make intelligent decisions, and you need to grow into the current technology. And that is why we combine Lakehouse with Chain AI to build a data intelligence platform. So data intelligence platform helps you to democratize data and AI across your entire organizations. Now, if you look at the platform, there are many tools. To start with, we have Open Lake, where you can get all the data, could be of any format. On top of that, you will have a uniform Delta Lake. Uniform means you can get data in any format. It can be any type of file. You don't have to stick with only Delta Lake. You can have a data connecting to Iceberg, or you can have a UD format file, and then everything can be built onto the data lake. On top of that, what is essential for everybody is to have a unified governance. You don't want to do a governance for every other tool or every other system, right? Unified governance helps to reduce redundancy and make your admin smarter, right? And that helps a lot to get insight into your data. And we build data intelligence in on top of the Unity catalog, which understands semantics of your data, and it will help you to uh, grow your AI capability. Now that helps a lot in there are our different tools within Databricks. You can go into data science and AI, build your AI solution, build your chatbot uh, with the help of large language model. You can do ETL via Delta Live Table. We are going into Lakeflow pipeline, so you will see more about Lakeflow pipeline as we get into this year, right? And then once you have everything, you should be able to orchestrate everything together. And when I talk about workflow, it is not about data engineering. You can combine your work lake flow connection, your data live table. You can, on top of that, you can write some queries and build dashboard. And on top of that, you can also try to build run a machine learning model. And you can combine everything within workflow where each of those object may be machine learning model or data live table can be one component, and then you can do entire orchestration. Now, for today's session, we will focus on data warehousing. We'll get deep into data warehousing, but the couple of features our customer like a lot is one, text to SQL. Nowadays, everybody wants to interact with any software in natural language and don't want to spend a lot of time building complex SQL. And that can be given to AI, where AI can help you build SQL and you can use those into your, let's say, dashboard or building query or building ETL, right? And when you do everything, it is driven by serverless because serverless has capability to grow efficiently with the cost, and it supports in your peak performances, right? And with AI, you also get debugging and remediation. So we have AI assistant which will tell you what is wrong with the query, and at same time it will give you solution on how to fix those. So there are a ton of features, but focusing on today's, we'll get deep into what is a database SQL, right? Now our database SQL is supercharged with AI. There are many things people can do, uh, from managing your workload intelligently to having automated data layout to index like indexing. One feature I really like is around workload management because then you don't have to spend a ton of time. I remember back in the day, you need to figure out how much compute you need to run the job, and every time if the job goes and runs for longer, then you need to add more compute. With intelligent workload management, you don't have to do it. You, Databricks data warehouse has capability to manage your workloads, so that way you are not worrying about, okay, if I'm running a larger job, do I need to add more compute? No, you don't have to do those, and that has significantly improved, and we are able to manage workload 3x faster than how we started previously. Uh, there is a automated data layout. So every file system in the backend is different. You will have different partitioning, right? You will run the query and you will have different layout for your files. What automatic data layout does is that it will remove complexity of adjusting those knobs in the backend. So you're not worried about, okay, how will I partition my file? How will I schedule it? So with help of liquid clustering, it is managed automatically and you'll be able to get most of your time and performance as well as cost. Now, all the indexes are indexless. Now, building index is good, but think about what if your index doesn't work optimally when you are running where statement, and that is where you need to have a predictive IO, which will help you to improve your search optimization on the indexes. And now, if you compare any cloud data warehouse with dbsql, with predictive IO, we are like much better at performance, and we have grown our performance by 2.4x in uh, last couple of quarters. Databricks, as I was telling you, Databricks has data intelligence engine. So it allows you to build automated documentation with the capability of Unity catalog. We already know what are the different objects being covered in database, and then you'll be able to generate automated comments and documentation for your tables, schemas, or catalogs. As we go into this lab, we will talk more about each of these features, right? Uh, AI assisted SQL query editor, that's what I was trying to tell you is, you will be able to build your query automatically at same time. We have assistant which will help you to, let's say, find debug in your query and fix it. And when you do all those things, you can store your queries and connect to your DevOps engine. You can connect to your Bitbucket. That way, your queries or your jobs are not only on workspace, and you can improve the team collaboration. Next, we have AIBI dashboard. So I really like these features because then now when I'm working with my customer and if they want to build new dashboard, they really don't have to worry about, okay, where is my data? What are my different columns? How I'm getting different fields, like what type of chart I should use? Are this chart available or not? So you don't have to go through those pain. You can simply write everything in natural language, and AI dashboard will be able to build dashboard for you easily. Now, if you want to enhance further, do further filtering, or if you want to do any cross filtering, you should be able to do everything via IBI dashboard. And you can also share across your organization. Now, dashboards are good, but think about with LLM, most of the people want to build chatbot. Now, what if we can give you that capability where uh, anybody from business can come? For example, the common use case we are seeing is where people are trying to understand with their sales organization how their different accounts are doing. And that is where AIBI comes into the picture, where you can ask question to any data in underlying AIBI room, and it will be able to answer your questions, and it will be able to generate chart for you. So this is a pretty cool features, and a good part about this feature is that down the line we are also trying to make APIs available so you can take it outside Databricks and connect with different apps. Now, Database SQL is built for a performant PI. Why? One, because it has SQL serverless, right? With serverless, you don't have to worry about, okay, what is my underlying cloud compute? You don't have to assign a specific compute, right? And worry about, okay, what happens if the specific compute goes down. Serverless is taking care of all those things. You can plan on scaling, and usually with serverless, I have seen like takes less than 3 to 4 seconds to spin up an instance, which saves ton of time for you to build an instance, and it gets turned off automatically. You can say specify, okay, I want to auto stop my instance after let's say couple of minutes of activity. How it is helping most of our customer is when you're building dashboards and report, customer can connect to the serverless environment, and when you're there, we don't have to worry about, okay, if my cluster is running for let's say one day, how much it will cost me. So it takes out worry about costs from your mind, and you save on total cost honestly, because now you are not paying additionally for your cloud providers. uh, we are seeing a much better performance on Databricks. These are all TPCDs uh, benchmark across cloud data warehouses at scale. So if you look at the performance and cost ranging from 100 GB data to 30 GB data, overall for the performance, Databricks consistently take less amount of time, whereas based on the data, the overall elapsed time for different cloud data warehouses varies. Sometimes the cloud data warehouse can do better with 100 GB, but then as the load grows, most of the cloud data warehouses will end up uh, taking a longer time. Whereas if you talk about cost, time is important, but at the same time, for different organization, cost is important because you need to figure out how much you are paying. Right? You don't want to pay $100,000 for, let's say, a job which is running for 1 minute, you will rather pay less amount of time because you're using less compute. Uh, that is the ideology we have, and that is when, no matter if you are running any queries or asking any question on Databricks SQL, no matter you're running this against 100 GB data to 30 GB data, overall cost is comparatively cheaper than all different cloud data warehouses. Now, let's talk about the user experience, because which is very important. People want to understand how they can interact with dbSQL. They don't want any simple SQL editor like Notepad, right? So we have improved SQL editor where you can actually, developer can come, they can write query, they can build chart and transform their data. The visualization are very rich, so you should be able to work around your user visualization. You can define how you want to build your chart, what color scheme you want to use, and how dynamic they should look. And that helps a lot to show the anomaly in the different data. And that gives you broad distribution across different organizations so they can build their chart. And very important, these all chart are well governed, and you'll be able to share this chart with anybody in organization at same time managing their permissions. And it's not just that. Databricks is where you have to use everything from Databricks. It integrates with the ecosystem of tools. If you have any existing data partner, or if you have any existing orchestration tool or machine learning tool, you'll be able to integrate everything with Databricks. And being focused on governance, you'll be able to secure your data on Databricks, as well as when you share data across different tools, you'll be able to manage how other tools will access the data. And now, when you are building your data warehouse, there are a ton of features. But 1 hour time is very less to go over all the features. But we will focus on a couple of features. But when you get this recording, you will be able to see that whatever you can do on traditional data warehouse, like building fact table, dimensional table, on top of that, building materialized view, doing indexing, writing procedure, you can do all those things on Databricks dbSQL, but at the same time, it will be much more efficient as we have integrated AI. It will be able to manage your workloads. It will be able to manage your data layout. And while doing that, it allow you to not just keep your data with you, but also integrate with partner and share data across any consumer. So there are many a customer example, but these are few where we have seen a big name like T-Mobile, Paria, Vizio, etc., using Databricks dbSQL. You can now, when you build any data warehousing solution, like most of the time people want to know, okay, how my ATL will work like, right? So when you go with any ATL, what you do is you extract, where you ingest the data, transform it, and on the transform data, you will be able to query and get insight. So Databricks, as it integrates with different partners, it allows you to ingest data using the tool which you are familiar with. For transformation, you can use a familiar toolkit like dbt, or you can build using standard SQL, or you can use Delta Live tables. And when you are query this data, you should be able to use API if you want to use it via app, or you'll be able to directly connect to your favorite Power BI or Tableau reporting tool, and then you'll be able to get insight on top of your data. Now, as Databricks is governed and secured by Unity Catalog, you'll be able to set permission, not just via UI, but you'll be able to set permission via API or via SQL. And while doing that, Databricks provide you a capability of discovering where is your data, so you don't spend a lot of time figuring out, okay, where is my, let's say, sales data. But at the same time, it also gives you a lineage. So you'll be able to understand, okay, if my sales data is coming from a specific POS environment, okay, this is where my POS data is coming from and where this is going. Is it going to any fact or dimension table, and then on top of that you can write query. So you can find the, I would say sometimes journey of your data across different stops, right? So that is how you can, but that is what you can do with data lineage. And lastly, while you are doing that, you need to make sure you are auditing, so you can find out who has accessed your data, who has modified my sales data, and what they have done with that data. So you can get all those things on with power of Unity Catalog on Databricks. Now, when you are doing all those things, there are many tools in the market. Um, and we want people to have visibility to connect those without spending a ton of time on ETL. And that is where Lakehouse Federation comes in picture, where you can, for example, connect to PostgreSQL, or you can connect to Azure SQL, etc. And that will be coming as one of the catalog in your environment, where you don't have to write any ETL, but still able to work with different systems, right? You can extract data, write query, and combine data from uh, other data warehouse with your database SQL and get a total insight on the reporting. Now we have different data ingestion partner. It is important to know that you can use your existing partner like Fivetran, Hero, Snowflow. At the same time, Databricks has Lakeflow pipeline, uh, where you will be able to ingest some of the data using Lakeflow pipeline as well. And many of the time, people also try to go with approach where they can ingest data using, let's say, a Python code, right? So you should be able to use anything you want for your data ingestion. Couple of topics will cover in demo, but I want to just quickly go over. If you want to build a streaming table on, let's say, your cloud environment, what you can do is you can simply create streaming table query, and that will be able to read data from, let's say, Kafka, or let's say S3 file, could be a cloud storage or could be a message queue. And with one command, you'll be able to build a streaming table easily and don't spend a ton of time. So it's not just you need to know Python, but you can also do everything via SQL using simple SQL editor. Now, when you build uh, streaming table, right? There can be multiple tables, streaming table, and you clean those. Now, when data goes and cleaned up, you want to make sure you build views so you can build a data abstraction, and that is where you can build materialized view as well. One pretty good important feature I love about materialized view is the freshness of the data. So whenever you are building any data, you don't have to worry about, okay, every time I'm writing query against my view, the view will take time to refresh. Materialized view actually help to keep data refreshed at scheduled intervals. So you can define in scheduling time. Now, when I have streaming table and materialized view, I really don't have to worry about building or using any other ETL tool, right? For a smaller data set, I can start getting data into bronze layer using streaming table, build a silver and gold layer on with help of Materialized View. In today's lab, we will go over a couple of these capabilities so you can get insight into, okay, how can you write SQL query to build a streaming table, how you can build a materialized view, and then you can go and take that and implement into your different project. Materialize view also help with the performance as they refresh based on scheduled time. So that helps ton of reporting. I have seen many customers using Materialize view uh, more over normal view and making data uh, or making report much faster compared to the time they might take regenerating the view. Now, when you do this, going back to the workflow, you should be able to use workflows, build a task on a SQL command, and then you should be able to orchestrate anything from your dashboards, alerts, with workflows. Now, when you have SQL warehouse and when you can connect to it, imagine if you want to give capability to people to, let's say, add some data or read from your SQL warehouse and make it available across your organization, even to people who might not have Databricks experience and expertise. You can do all those things with Databricks apps easily. Apps can be built with REST API. You can use Python, or you can use Streamlit, Gradio, etc., and build your app on Databricks. And there are built-in AI functions. So you should be able to use any of those AI functions. One thing I really like about all those AI function is that you're not always dependent on external models. So if you build your own model, you should be able to use AI function to call your own build model and using those functions. And pretty much whatever you can expect from AI to do, from summarizing, finding similarity, masking data, or extracting some data or classifying specific information, we can do all those with the help of this AI function, right? And when and one really good thing I like about this AI function is that those are easily callable. So if you want to understand how it works, what you need for AI function is, okay, what you want to do, name of the function. Then you can type which model you want to use for this AI to run, and then what you want to do with that. That's it. Just 3 to 4 parameter, and you should be able to get your output easily. And you can call this function as SQL editor or SQL cell in the notebook, and the possibilities are infinite. So if I use AI function in SQL, and if I want to integrate that with any of my function and call with apps, that solves the no problem where you are trying to use multiple tools to build app. You can simply build one app on top of Databricks, which does everything you want to do. Now we will jump into the hands-on lab. Um, all all TAs are expert here, and they'll be able to answer all questions. So let me close this and let's get into the lab. Okay, hopefully everybody is able to get into the lab.
Hey Sid,
Yeah, but
can we give everyone maybe 5 minutes and let's kind of see if anyone is still having problems getting into the lab?
sure,
Some people joined while you were talking, so maybe you can head back to the slides of how to get logged in.
sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So while we were chatting, somebody mentioned that they were able to replace the regex expression with a similarity function, which is pretty amazing. So this is one of the customer example we can see live here. So link is in the chat. If anybody joined just now, they should be able to find the link in the chat.
Hey Sid, can you go to the next slide so they can see what it looks like?
Sure.
All right.
Another note for all the audience who are using their browser and have the Intra ID with the Microsoft LDAP setup, you guys need to maybe clear the browser cache and history so that it doesn't go automatically there, and you should able to enter the username password.
Sid, can you go to slide number this 9 and 10? Actually 8, 9, and 10.
So this is where you can go, click on single sign on, and you should have received your username and password in email. So you can use that. Use incognito window if you can. That way you are not reusing your existing work or personal SSO login to get into the cloud.
Awesome. Some people want you to go back one or back to the slide you were on before.
And if you're using your company's laptop, it's always good idea to use your personal laptop for labs, so that way you don't get any issues connecting. Going back to the slide, once you register, you'll be able to click on the launch lab, and that will show you the environment. You can copy the Databricks workspace URL, username and password, and then you copy the URL. Once you go to the URL, it will say Microsoft Enter ID, but you can add your email ID and your password, and that should be able to get you into the labs. Awesome. So let's get started. So people who are able to get in, this is how when you click to the environment, this is how it will look like for you. Probably if you're doing it very first time, you will not see much on the recent file because you did not access anything. Now, when I get into Databricks environment, I can see a couple of things. I can see my lab ID here. I can see my assistant here. I can see there are different tabs for different persona. People can go and do machine learning, build AI model into the machine learning section. You can use Delta Live tables, work with different data ingestion partners, or use Lakeflow into data engineering section. And once you build everything, you can always build it on top of workflows, right? What we need for SQL for today's lab will be around here. We will go through most of these options so you guys can understand how you can build a dashboard and how you can use SQL capabilities on Databricks. Uh, Before you start with anything, very important thing is click on compute, and that should take you into a list of compute. Now we don't need all different type of compute which was automatically started. What we need is a SQL warehouse. Right now we have spin up DB Academy warehouse. So you should be able to use this warehouse. If I click on this warehouse, couple of things I can see. I can see the status, I can see the type. So we are using serverless, and it is scaling. So we will have scaling of minimum 2 to maximum 12 different computes to support current lab, and you can always add tags. So tags are pretty much important. Many people forget to add tags when they start with Databricks. That will help you a lot managing your compute and managing your billing, understanding your budget, etc. So once you do those things, there are two more tabs which are important. One, you can see the connection detail tab. This is where you can use and connect to different tools like Power BI, or you can get JDBC URL and then use that to connect to these different tools. You can connect to, let's say, if I want to connect to Power BI, I can click on that, and then I can download connection file, and then I can use it with Power BI. You can directly connect to Power BI from Databricks, and you don't really have to download anything as long as your SSO is synced. And you can also see monitoring. So this is where I can see what are the different queries are being run, what are the queries being run at now. And if you see, this is kind of real time, so I can actually see that before we started the session overall, there were no query running, but as we started the session and people are trying to get in, the query count is increased. So you will see that there are many queries being run here. Now you must have received SYN2 files. So if you go to workspace, you will see there are two different files available for you. Part one, which talks about what you will do as an admin, and part two, which will talk about if you are a user and if you want to use dbsql, what are the different stages you can do. Okay, so when you talk about the admin can be a data architect, data warehouse architect, or database administrator who is setting up your environment and building your catalogs, right? An admin can help you to set up permission on different objects so right user can get access to right data. So setting a permission is not just setting a permission, but it is very important to understand who needs access to what. And that is where, based on the user type, based on the data, admin can decide if specific data belongs to an analyst or specific data belongs to a business user who will probably accessing data via Power BI, right? So we'll go to a couple of steps, starting from configuring SQL warehouse to building catalogs and volume, building streaming and materialized tables. One thing, whenever you run this query, there are two options. One, you can run in a notebook the entire query, and you can simply select SQL warehouse, right? Option number two is I can go copy this query and type it into SQL editor. I can go here and I can select what type of compute I need, and I can use SQL editor. Now getting into SQL editor, Databricks has given new capability, I think a couple of months back, and which I like a lot. So you can go to a specific tab, click on this icon on focus mode, and that should open your query on SQL editor, right? So you can use that, directly come into SQL editor, focus on specific query, and once you are done, you can go back to your notebook. Now, we already gone over configuring SQL warehouses, how SQL warehouse look like. But as a matter of fact, let's say if I want to build a new SQL warehouse, it's pretty easy. You go, you click on SQL warehouse, you create SQL warehouse. You can give name to the SQL warehouse. You can decide the cluster size, which talks also about how many DBUs you will spend each hour. So DBU is Databricks unit to measure cost, right? And then you can define, okay, do you want to auto stop or terminate warehouse after a specific time? You can define scaling. You can pretty much start with small and scale it up based on number of users trying to access. There are three different type. Pro and serverless is recommended. The major difference I will see with serverless is, versus pro is if you really know that you will going to use data load for entire day, right? You really need support for unlimited amount of time and you cannot wait even a second. Probably you're good with starting something with Pro where you are running it all the time. Otherwise, serverless is most cost efficient and performant option for most of our customers. If you go in advance, you can add tags. Make sure you don't deselect Unity catalog tag because you need to govern your warehouse and then you can select the channel. The difference between channels which are current and preview is basically you will have some feature which are may not be ready for production. So current is most efficient way to use in production environment, right? So this is how you will build any compute. Now going back to serverless, you can use DB Academy warehouse compute, which is already available, and we can get started. Right? We went through all those topic about connecting warehouse monitoring, etc. So let's get into and run the first query, right? So once you run the first query, which goes and talks about, okay, get current user, and then put details around current user name, etc., and it will give you a catalog name. What you need to do is copy this catalog name, keep it handy with you, right? Now, when you talk about Unity catalog, before I jump into much more detail of SQL warehouse, let me quickly talk for 1 minute what are different catalogs. So when you talk about pre-Unity catalog, if you haven't used, there was no concept of catalog. Right now, what we are doing is we are enabling people to build catalog. What you have in the catalog is, if I go to catalog section, I can see there are different catalog. People have already started building the catalog, right? So I can see that, okay, this is my probably one catalog. In catalog, you can have different schemas, like different databases. So database is equal to schema, and you will have all those different schemas under your catalog, and then you can have table volumes. Once you start building machine learning models, you will see machine learning models here. So you can see all those details under your catalog. You can pretty much go at each object and define permission, or you can also add permission at catalog level. So this is nothing but catalog. Now, when you go towards production, you can define your model on how you want to build your catalog, but many of the time your catalog can be a BU. For example, if you're working from finance can be one catalog. Finance dev can be one catalog, finance cloud can be one catalog, and under it can have multiple database schemas for different projects, and there can be different tables. But that is a separate topic to talk about. But this is what a catalog will look like. Now, where catalog is not efficient. When I create the catalog, I can only see default and information schema right here. So what I did is, considering too many people coming in, I created schema already, right? So I created catalog, and on top of that, we are going to create schema. So once you run the query for cell 9, you will be able to create schema. So you will be able to see the schema name here. Make sure you copy the catalog and schema name, keep handy with you, because all underlying queries will require catalog and schema name. So that way you can easily copy paste your catalog and schema name. Now my catalog is created and my schema is created. Now what do I do next, right? So once my catalog and schemas are there, we pretty much are ready to build anything on Databricks, right?
Hey, Sid,
Yeah,
we take a moment maybe to slow down a little bit and then maybe see if we can answer some questions in the chat.
sure.
So we have do you want me to read them out to you, or do you want to take a look at them?
I'm not focusing chat, but are there any specific question you want me to answer?
Yeah, so we have one from Umail. He's asking, can you talk about the difference between a large cluster and medium clusters and when to use which one?
Sure. Okay, so if you go with compute, and if you look at the SQL warehouses, let me go back and click on different compute. So basically, the main difference you will see is the processing power, right? If you talk about large compute, you are spending 80 DBUs per hours, right? And for small compute, it can start with 4 DBUs, right? Just like using any compute in the cloud environment. Now, deciding which one I need to use when, right? Most of the time, most customers are comfortable start to work with small or extra small. Let's say if your queries are smaller, if your data set is small, and if you are not expecting ton of user load, you can always start with small compute. As an example, before we started the lab, we were able to see that we have only extra small instance created, but we ended up identifying, okay, we have more users which are going to access the lab. So, and that is when you will understand, okay, based on the number of user and number of based on the data size and based on how large my queries will be running, you can decide what compute you want to use. Now you can always scale it up or scale it down, but that comes later. Think about cluster size as expansion of your compute vertically, going from small to large, extra large. And then if you have, if you start with, let's say, extra large, if you know that you have 1000 user as an example, we started with, let's say, medium, right? And you have multiple query running and you don't have very huge data, but those users are able to run all those query. Now, once you know that, you can scale it up to decide, okay, if I have more than, let's say, 1,000 users, if my entire organization, which is of, let's say, 9,000 users are trying to access SQL warehouse, then you can decide, okay, do I need one medium or multiple mediums? And that is when you define your cluster size. Now it scaling makes your life a little bit easier because we have predictive optimization, and that helps you to determine how long a specific job is running. What is the next question?
There's a really good one here. It's from Abraham. He's asking, given that serverless automatically scales up and down, why do we need to choose the size? Shouldn't it automatically resize?
No, so serverless will automatically scale. It will not resize. So let me give you an example. If you are running a 2x small instance, right? To start with, it will always scale from minimum amount you choose. Let's say you decided and you are running a query and you are starting with medium instance for 24 dbu per hour. And the query is quite large, right? And when you are parallelizing data and spreading query across different core and compute, right, it will try to use those different clusters to run your query. Imagine if you have only one cluster, right, which is very small, and if you are trying to run a large query, let's say instead of medium we have extra small, which is very small compute power. And if you're trying to use large query, but at same time you are using same cluster to for all the BI user to access query. In those scenario, it will not be able to, even if you scale it, it has limit. You will decide, okay, I have extra small, I'm okay with max 3 cluster. But considering the number of user, your current query and your query capacity, it won't help to address your performance or help all the user to run the queries. And that is why you need to choose the right size. You can always start with extra small and make it to extra large based on how big you want first instance to be to answer your query without scaling. And then you decide, okay, if I'm pushing this to production, I will scale it. For example, if I'm a small organization of 10 people, I'll be pretty much good with 2x small running all the queries throughout the day. But if I have organization of 10,000 people and I have shared data across different organization, I really have to think about what type of compute I need.
Awesome. Thanks, Sid. I think we can keep going.
Sure. So there is some question, when we specify the max cluster, do we need to provide the number within threshold? So, uh, so I don't know, so usually you define how many cluster you need to run at the same time. So if you think that going back to the same answer, your organization is small, you can able to just, okay with non-scaling, but then good idea to start, minimum one, scale up to 2 cluster. And then based on that, you can decide, okay, if I'm getting more query, I probably need more parallelization, more compute power so that my one server is not overloaded with queue, right? Because everything comes in queue, all your queries goes to different clusters. And then if your queue is always tied to one compute, no matter how large you're using, it will be a bottleneck where, it's not able to scale, and other query which takes less time, not able to use other cluster. And that is why you use scaling so that your query distribution can be better, just to put in simple language. Okay. So going back here. And thanks for notifying me about question. Okay, so we were there, we created catalog, and we created schema here. Now we create a volume. There was some question somebody asked about volume, right? So what you do is you have a table which is structured, right? So if I go to my schema, and I can have a table where I loaded all the airline data, and I have loaded all the data from airport flights, etc. All this came from CSV file, right? So that will be a structured data. But now if I want to load PDF files for, let's say, my chatbot to chunk the file and build AI solution, or if I want to load any audio video file, etc. So I can use volume and then I can upload it to my volumes and start using it. Now, you can also put your script within your volumes and then share across your different instances. And that is how you build your initial agent script across different compute. Now, best for this specific scenario, we use CSV file to upload to volume. We could have gone with different route, but we wanted to show you example how you can work with volume. Now, when you go and start with any query, right? Now all our data is on uploaded, right? It is available on cloud. Now what we want to do is we want to build a medallion architecture, which is nothing but building a bronze layer, get data as it is, clean it up, and then build a gold layer where you will have curated data available for business user. Now, once the data coming in, let's start with streaming table, right? Going back to quickly. Yeah, going back to the specific architecture here, we will have data coming from, let's say, Kafka or cloud storage. Let's try to build bronze, silver, and gold layer. Bronze will be streaming table, and your silver and gold layer will be your materialized view. So I'll create streaming table.
Hey,
So query
Sid,
simple.
sorry,
Yeah.
not to interrupt you. Sorry. Can you show everyone how to get to this page? Everyone should have this page in their workspace. So can you show them how to get there?
Yeah. So you can go to workspace, and if you go to your home, you should be able to see these files. And then you can click on part 1, and that will show you the file.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So I hope everybody was able to see these files. If not, we'll probably upload into chat. Is there a way we can upload into chat some files so if people don't have access, they can simply download from chat?
Yes, I
Can
can.
we? Okay. So yeah. So once you go here, we create streaming table. Query is simple. What you do is click on create or refresh streaming table and name of the streaming table as, and then you select, okay, what you want your streaming table to be. Now, when you do it, you can also define schedule of streaming table in cron syntax, and that way your streaming table is refresh on specific schedule. Now, when you are doing that, right now we don't need that. We need to run it one time. Whenever you are writing any code, it is ideal to use idempotent syntax where even if I run this code again, ideally it should not fail because I'm using create or refresh streaming table, and that should be able to get data from the volume, right? Now let me close this. Now for people who have not yet uploaded any file into volumes, let me go over and talk about how you can upload a file into volume. What you do is you will go to catalog. Once you go, you'll identify what is your catalog. You will go to your schema. On your schema, you can go to volume and you can upload data into your file. So let me go here into catalog. Let me go to my specific schema. Here I can go into my schema, and then I can, once I go here, I can click on create volume, right? Once you hit on create volume, it will ask you volume name. Now I can put volume name as, let's say, test volume, all right? And I can create, manage or external volume. Now you see there are two volumes, one where I already uploaded file. I can click on the volume and then I can upload to this volume, right? And then I can, once I click on upload to this volume, you can browse, you can select whatever the file you have selected. You can upload it. The limit of each file is max 5 GB. Once you do that, you will be able to see that file in your volume like here. So that is how you upload any file into volume. So
Hey,
we'll go
Sid,
here. Yeah,
can we take a pause and let everyone do that?
sure.
And if you don't have access to, if you want to have access to the files, can you scroll down, Sid, to the link where they can get the files? It should be a little bit up, a little bit more right there. So in step 3, go to that link. You should have access. If you don't, we will load up the files here to Zoom on the Zoom chat. So give it a second. And if you have not created a catalog, you will not be able to create a volume until you create a catalog. So make sure you create a catalog and a schema. Did you want to show them how to do that, Sid, really quick?
Yeah, sure. So creating catalog is easy. There are two ways. You go here and what you do is everything is in the lab notebook. So what you do is step 1, you go to the specific cell number 5, you run this query, and that should be able to tell you what you want to name your catalog. Copy this catalog name, go to the next cell, and just replace catalog name to actual catalog name, and that will be able to, and then you will be able to create catalog with simple command. That is option 1. Well, let's stick to that option, but in case if you go down the line, you can always come back here and you can go to your catalog, click on plus sign, and then you should be able to click on create catalog, copy paste whatever name you have selected, and you should be able to create catalog either via UI or via the query. And once you have catalog, you will be able to create schema, same process for next two cells. Run the first cell, which should be able to generate a unique schema name. We don't want people, so you cannot create same catalog and same name across. That's why this code is written. So we cannot have same catalog with, let's say, two Siddesh, right? And that's where this code help you to create a name specific to your login ID. You can use that and then go and update the catalog name and the schema name, and you should be able to create schema. The other approach is once you have a catalog created, if you click on the catalog, you can click on create schema, copy the same schema name, and you should be able to create schema here.
So if you're having trouble with getting these files, unfortunately, for some reason, Zoom isn't letting me upload the files. So what we can do instead is, Sid, can you see if you can expose your volume or give everyone privileges in your volume?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. Create volume.
Yeah. Yeah, you can let them use your title. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So
That's
you should
okay.
be able to use SIDS if you were unable to, you can use SIDS volume if you were unable to access the files. But those of you that access the files, You should create your own volume, create and upload the files there.
Yeah. Let me paste the catalog name here if you guys want to. Okay, so you can use this catalog name and the schema, and then you should be able to see the volume here. So volume types, so when you're creating volumes, you can create manage volume. For external volume, you need to specify the ADLS or S3 location based on which cloud you are, or Google Drive location. But here, let's go with manage so that we don't have to worry about selecting external or any other volume. So again, you can click on create volume, select manage volume, add volume name, that's it. And then you go to your volume, and there you can upload to this volume. It will upload the file, and there, when you're uploading the file, upload all three files: airport, flights, and lookup code CSV.
And can you please share, Sid, what a volume is, or why we're using it in this case, or when it's important to use it?
Yeah, so generally, you can use volume for all non-structured data, and you will use your table for all your structured data. In this scenario, as we are uploading from different CSV files for demo purposes, we are uploading file into volume so people can understand how they can interact with CSV files or volumes, and they can load the data and understand how they can build streaming tables on top of the volume. Most of the time, I have seen customer using volumes to store their PDF files where they want to build, let's say, a chatbot and build chunking on top of it. Okay. Uh, Let me move to the next part because I think we won't be able to finish. So once you guys are able to get into volumes, right? What you need to do is go to the next cell where we are executing, go to the 15th, and there you can, so as I mentioned, copy your catalog name or schema name, then you create a refresh streaming table. So use same query. The syntax is simple. You type create a refresh streaming table as you want to make sure your queries are idempotent. We already have table name, and then what you can do is under the volumes what will be your streaming source, and this is where you can define, will it be Kafka or will it be my cloud location. We can define the volume location, and then I can copy my catalog name and schema name, and then that will be able to create a streaming table on my airport file as airport bronze. Now when we do that, we are repeating same thing for flights bronze and also for lookup codes. So you will be able to, so you should be able to upload those files in volume and create streaming table. Now, streaming table query can take a while to execute. So it can take a minute. So I'll wait for another minute, and then we can jump into creating materialized view. Okay. So you can either create catalog using this command, or you can use UI, where you can actually go to catalog and then click here. You should be able to create catalog, and once you go to the catalog, you should be able to click on create schema, and that's where you can create schema.
Sid, can you go over creating the volume one more time for everyone?
Sure. So for volume, it's easy. Once you have your catalog and schema created, you'll go to your schema. You'll click on create. You'll click on create volume button. Then you type the volume name. Once you are done with that, select manage volume and create volume. That should be able to create volume. We just now created a test volume. What you can do is, once you are here, click on upload to this volume. You can browse, select, let's say, any file you want to select, and then upload it, and this should be able to add file onto your volume. Okay. I believe most of the people are able to get to at least volume. So let me repeat how you can build streaming tables. So what you usually do is, once your volumes are created and once you download file from here, if not, and if you are having issue connecting to volume, I have given permission to use my volume. So what you can do is you add your catalog name and schema name, and in query just put under volume my catalog name and schema name, and that will be able to help you to create a streaming table on top of the existing volume file. And we need to repeat this for one, for airport, get data for an airport, then get data from for flights, and then get data for lookup codes.
Sid, there are some people getting some errors. The error is driver exception, no Unity API token found in Unity scope.
For which part of the table?
Yes, I'll wait for them to respond. Oh, it looks like they're saying it's resolved, I believe. But if they have an error, I'll let you know.
Okay. So I'll recommend, like, if you are getting any error, just mention the step and error you are getting, probably put some error, so that way TAs here can able to answer it better.
I think it's because they may not be using the correct warehouse. So make sure your notebook is connected to the correct warehouse if you're using the notebook.
Yeah. Another thing, if you are creating your own compute, which we are not recommending to people to create, but you should be able to use this compute, but down the line, the API error for Unity Catalog comes when you build something on compute. Let's say if I go here and if I don't select Unity Catalog, that is when it tries to run query around Unity Catalog, like catalog, schema, etc. But this schema warehouse does not support Unity, and you will end up seeing those errors. So go with DB Academy warehouse instance. If you go to your notebook, you can click here and you can select DB Academy warehouse, SQL warehouse. Don't click on more and try to connect to anything else. Okay, so we are with streaming table. I think considering the time, I will move towards and talk about materialized view, and then we can take quick stop, and then we can go into the user section, because it's very important, because we will have access for lab until tomorrow, um, for you to understand how to do specific thing and understand the concept, and then you can go through the recording. uh, Databricks has free trials, so you should be able to opt that after lab hours are over and continue with your implementation. Okay, so going back to the diagram we have created, we created a streaming table on airlines, flight, and lookup codes. Now let's create a silver layer. So to build the silver layer, as I was talking, materialized views are very powerful, because then you can set the refresh schedule. You can define that will help you to have a low latency, and then you can add your logic. So what we will do is we'll create a materialized view for output silver. What we are going to do is we are simply writing query, create or replace materialized view, adds, and then select table. We can define the schedule in cron syntax for the materialized view. And here we are not doing any cleansing, but when you go into actual project, you are better off doing some cleansing, like cleaning the table and remove the nulls. If there are any columns where you have non-numeric or numeric data into the text column, identify those column and clear those. So you should be able to do those into your materialized view, or when you go to the silver layer. So for this, again, we'll copy the catalog name, schema name, keep the table name, and then they should be able to create airport bronze based on IT, city, and state. 3 columns are coming from airport bronze table. Now, once we are done this, we will be also building materialized view for gold layer. There also will apply the similar logic. We will use catalog and schema and build materialized view, airport by city materialized view. And here we are applying logic. What we are trying to do is we are trying to find out number of airports across a city. So we will take city column from airport silver materialized view table, which was created here. And then on top of this, we will find out, okay, how many airport. Those you will get based on the count of rest of the column. And then you should be able to know, okay, how many airports across each city. So I'll take stop, let people spend a minute to build materialized view, and then we can talk about creating primary and foreign key. Okay, let me see if there are some questions which we can answer.
Yes, there are a few. Some people are using the SQL editor. Can you quickly show the SQL editor for folks that may be using it or may not be using it? Some are using this notebook, which is fine.
Yeah.
But they're also using
So
the SQL editor piece.
yeah, so there are 2 ways to get into SQL editor. Is there are too many transition when you go from notebook to SQL editor, right? To avoid that, what you can do is click on this open focus mode icon. Once you click on that, it will be able to open your query in SQL editor. You run this query. While you do that, select the warehouse which is available, which is DB Academy warehouse, and then run the query. Once you are done running the query, again hit on the same button, exit the focus mode, and you should be able to get back to the notebook from which you came, right? The other option is I go to the notebook, create two tabs if I have two computers or two monitors. I'll just copy this. Let's say this entire query. I go to catalog explorer. I click on SQL editor, and then I paste here, and then I can select the warehouse, and then I can run the query. Now to do repeating the step of copying catalog name and schema name, what you can ideally do is you can select your catalog from here. You can select your schema from here, and when you are copying the query, you can skip this part, and then you can directly copy the query from notebook. So I'll just need to copy this part, and then I will be able to just paste the query, and then this will run fine because I have already selected the right catalog and schema. Right, but I will recommend to use the focus mode if you are using single screen. That makes your life so much easier, where you can jump in and out of notebook easily. But if you need a notebook always to refer what steps you need to do, then you can go create a split screen and copy query from notebook into your SQL editor. Okay, so somebody has mentioned, can you please clarify when to use the live table and streaming table, even though the CSV data volumes is not a streaming table? So live table and streaming table are the concept of delta live table, and those are not on dbsql. What we are talking today about materialized view and streaming table, right? So when you are interacting with, let's say, streaming sources or taking data from, let's say, cloud storage, you use streaming table, and then on top of the streaming table, you can use materialized view to build your silver and gold layer, right? Now, when we talk about live table, I don't want to navigate the existing topic, but if you use delta live table, streaming tables still use the same concept of streaming. On top of those, instead of materialized view, we build materialized view in DLT table, and we call those as live table. But things are changing a little bit, and we are allowing people to use multiple catalog and schema. But feel free to reach out for any questions if you guys stuck. Okay, so somebody asked, okay, it looks like that we could create gold materialized view or silver materialized view. Will there synchronization or refresh conflict with each other? What are the best practices? So ideally, most of the customer try to keep tables as a silver layer and create materialized view in gold layer. When you are building multiple views, make sure that you have different schedule for the views. So when the views are refreshing, it will not conflicting the schedule. Otherwise, you will have issues. So that's where the better option is to build gold layer with materialized view and silver layer views only when it is required. Otherwise, you are pretty much good with building a clean table, clean delta table. So this one is answer. Somebody asked, okay, how much time it takes to run a bronze airport streaming table? Usually it's quick. It took me less than a minute, but considering the people here, I see probably 600. So that may affect your query performance.
I also increased the scaling piece, if you wanted to talk about that.
Sorry?
I increased the scaling on the
Okay.
We can talk about that too.
Yeah, so and that goes back to what we were talking a long time, that if you're on go to compute, you can always look at here and you can use the scaling, and this will be able to see. So right now the scaling is increased to 24, right? And we are able to see if you go to monitoring, the queries are coming and the compute is increased, but based on at what time queries are coming, the compute is optimizing and trying to push queries together. If some query is taking less time, probably they are better off with queuing in.
Can you quickly show one more time creating a schema volume? I think there are some users need help.
Okay, I'll probably show this last time. Otherwise, we won't be able to complete the lab. But what you need to do is you go to catalog. You created a catalog. If you have not created a catalog, you can click on the plus icon and you can create a catalog. Now this is my catalog. Here I can go click on catalog and I can click on create schema. I can type in my schema name and I should be able to create schema. And then I can go into my schema, click on my schema, and then I can click on create volume, type volume name, keep it manage volume, and then it should be able to create volume. I would say unless it is needed, don't go and try to play around in this lab because that will delay your time to create something. So for example, if you are creating, let's say if I'm on my catalog and if I'm creating schema, if we have not mentioned about storage location, so don't try to build your storage location or add other details which will delay things. So you should be able to build your schema or catalog, use all lowercase letter, use underscore to separate it out, but then you cannot use spaces, etc., or to build your catalog and schemas. Now, if you want to do the same thing, what you need to do is go to cell number 5 here. This will give you the name of catalog automatically. The reason we are doing that because with 600 people or 700 people, we don't want any duplication. Once you do that, you can copy the catalog name, keep it on your somewhere in your notepad and create a catalog. You execute next cell to get the schema name, copy the name and keep it in your notepad, and then you can create schema. And again, I went through the volume already. People who are still struggling with volume, I copy pasted my volume details in the chat. So you should be able to pretty much go ahead with your lab by using the volume I have created. Okay, so we created, after that is done, we will use volume command. Next steps are, once you create volumes here, a schema here, volume is created. You will follow the syntax here. You will click, you'll go to 15th, you will copy your schema name and catalog name for volume. If you're not able to do, you can use mine, and let's go ahead with the lab. And then you can just run this 3 command to create streaming bronze table for your flight, airport, and lookup codes. On top of that, the next step we did is creating a silver table, which is MView, materialized view. And on top of that, building a materialized view for airport city, which is a gold layer. Okay, again, if you're not able to see all the files, connect to the volume. I've given access to everybody and you should be able to access the volume. So there is a find and replace function in the SQL editor. You can go to SQL editor, click on find, and you should be able to find and replace data. So the person who is getting syntax error is because you have a bracket. You have to remove brackets when you add catalog name and schema name. So remove the brackets for catalog name and schema name and keep just like here on the screen I'm sharing. Just keep simple catalog name and schema name. And people who are not able to create views or gold layer views, they were not able to probably create a silver view. So make sure you complete one step at a time. Go from creating catalog, schema, volume, streaming tables for bronze, airport flight, and lookup, then create silver table, uh, and then create gold table. So silver table will be airport silver MV, and then gold table will be airport by city. Okay. Now next commands are pretty simple. It is creating or replacing table by selecting the table. So what we will do is copy catalog name and schema name, and then you should be able to create bronze table. So we can name it right instead of calling it airport bronze let's call it airport bronze. For flights bronze you can call flights bronze, and then lookup code bronze you can call lookup bronze table. Once it is created, let's talk about primary key and foreign key. So once the tables are created, we will build a relationship across the table, right? So we have airport bronze table, and what we'll do is we will add primary key on IATA column. To have set up a primary key, what the first step is to set the specific column to not null, right? Usually the primary key, when you try to set up some value, some key, primary key column on the table, it will prompt you an error saying that this column is null and you cannot set a primary key. To avoid that, to get that error, you can add not null onto the specific column to make sure it is not null, and then add primary key. We will repeat same thing for lookup bronze. We will create primary key on unique codes, and then we will make sure that it is not null. And once you do this primary keys, we will go to flight bronze table. So flight bronze table has foreign key, and the foreign keys are we want to get unique carrier from our uh, lookup code bronze, right? So we will know that, okay, for what are the different unique carriers. So we will connect lookup code unique carrier from flight bronze into lookup codes bronze as a foreign key. And then at the same time, we want to understand what is the origin, and those details are available into your airport bronze table. What is the origin for each flight? And then you can link your foreign keys here. The task is simple. You just replace your catalog name and schema name. And then again, just to repeat, we are creating primary key on airports bronze table for on IITA column. Then we are creating primary key on lookup bronze table on unique code column. Then we are creating foreign keys on your flights bronze table on two different column. One connecting to lookup code bronze for unique carrier, and then another connecting for airport bronze for origin. I'll wait for a minute and then we can view. We will go get into the UI and see the different keys, understand query history, and talk about generated AI documentation. While we do that, what are some questions? An AI-based data modeling tool that integrates with Databricks to create data model, push direction to the schema. Oh, okay. So there are many tools. People use Arvin and some people use SQL DBM for data modeling. SQL DBM has capability to integrate with Unity catalog and push table and schema onto your Databricks catalog. Okay, so if you're trying to create primary key and foreign key on my account, you probably won't have permission. But if you are not able to create schema and want to move ahead, let me give permission on my catalog, on my schema, so people can actually go ahead and use it. So let me grant permission for all the people to use schema. You can read and build your own catalog. So you should be able to select that for all account user. And then you'll be able to read volumes. You can execute queries. And then you can, that's it. And you should be able to use schema. So these are permission I'm giving. If somebody's stuck, don't try to create primary and foreign key in my catalog, because then that will fail.
Can you also show Sid where they can see the primary key and foreign key in the catalog?
Oh yeah, I was just waiting for people to come finish. Okay. So I think most of the people are able to do. So what you can do is, you can go to your catalog, click on catalog, then you go to your own catalog. I'm here on my catalog. Then I go to my schema, and then I click on my table. So let's say if we created a primary key on airports bronze, I can see the primary key is defined here, right? So I can see the primary key in my UI. Similarly, I'll see primary key in my lookup code bronze table. Now, these two primary keys are tied to my flight bronze as foreign key. So if I go here, I can see the unique carrier is tied with foreign key. And if I click on here, I can see foreign key on my lookup code bronze. And if I go down and click on origin, I can see there is a foreign key. And if I click on or mouse over it, it will show me foreign key here. Now, interesting thing is when you build all those keys, you can click on view relationship button. Once you click on view relationship button, it will be able to show you the tables. So you can see all your data model here, and no matter how many tables are linked together, you should be able to see all those under the UI. So I can click on, again, I can click on, go to my flights bronze table, click on view relationship, and then I can see my primary key and foreign key here. Now, the one thing I like about this UI is it doesn't show all columns, because you don't need to know all the columns when you just want to explore primary and foreign key. If I need, I can always expand and I can see additional columns in my table. Great. So let me move forward and then show a few things about UI. So we spoke about making a data intelligence platform and having generated documentation available. So if I have a catalog, I can go on catalog and then I can see a button called as in description AI generate. Once I click on AI generate, this will be able to generate a description for my catalog, and I can edit it, add additional details. I can shorten it or translate it, and then I can keep as my description for my catalog. Now, when I'm doing that, I can also go to my schema. I can click on AI generate, and then I can add a description which is generated by AI. And not just that, I can go to, let's say, my table, and in table, I can add suggested description on my table, but as well as I can go and I can pick up any column. Now, when you are going to the column, you don't have to click on add comment on each column. What you do is there are two buttons, one button under description to show AI generate for the description, and one AI generate to generate all the comments for your columns. So I can actually see that it will generate automated comment. I can select to accept or reject everything. I can directly click here and I can start adding if I want to add any additional comments. And then I can click accept, and that should be able to add comments. So this is power of, I would say, AI within Databricks, but also Unity Catalog, because the governance system understand this is your table, and many of the time people ask question how it is able to generate description. It is based on the column name, the data type, and based on the table details, and based on what type of data you have, it was able to analyze and generate description. Now take whatever comes with AI with you know with a little bit of salt, and make sure when you are building those things, you validate uh, all the comments which are generated. But this makes life easier, because I remember when we started the career, took a lot of time to modify and update comment and keep on adding it, write ton of SQL. But you can pretty much do all those things via UI with a click of button using AI. Okay, so we'll talk about a couple of more things while you are doing those. So one thing is permission I already shown, but you can set up permission again at catalog level, or you can set up permission at schema level, or you can go to a specific table. I can set up the permissions, and I can see I already have some permission. So I can select and I can remove the permission, or I can grant permission. I can go here, select the principal, which are the user. For example, I can uh, have a permission set up on a specific user, right? Or create multiple groups. Right now, they are not group created. So you'd see only one group. I can create all those group, and I can select the group, select the privileges, and then click on grant, and that should be able to grant permission to different users. Like we've seen, I was applying to volumes and as well as to entire schema, so people can use my schema if they need to. So you can use all those permission setup. Now, many of the time, what happens? There were many questions people were asking. Okay, my queries are slow, or I need to find out. Okay, how many queries are being run? So what you can do is on all those scenario is go to query history tab. So again, just to figure out what each query is doing, I can go to query history tab, and then I can see all the queries being run by different users, right? And then I can click on, I can see when the query was started, how much time it took, uh, what is the source of the query, who ran the query, so I can see all those details, right? Uh, And once I know those things, right now I can see only my queries, but it is a filter which by default show only your query, but you can remove it and I should be able to see all the queries for everybody. And once I go to the query, let's say any of the, let's say this query. So I can click on the query. What this will show me is how much time the query took for scheduling, how much time it was running. So when the query is running, it will do three things. It will run, but then while doing that, it will do two subtasks, right? One is it will optimize the query and prune the files, because at the back end, it is all on the cloud. So it will prune files. Now, this is where if you optimize your table and have a better partitioning, it helps to reduce the time. And then it will execute the query. Once it call it understand, okay, where my data is located. Now you see I was able to read 125K data. I was able to read in one row, and overall it took me 59 millisecond time. Now, once I'm here, I can also click on query profiler. Now this query profiler will tell me I can show it as graph view, or I can go as tree view, and this will show me how much time each of the join took me. Was it shuffling or was it scanning the partition, and how much time it took to do this. And then I can figure out, okay, do I want to see if it's based on the time spent, or figure out how many rows each join is returning and what is the peak memory used for each join. So this is a good place where you can review your query, find out what it does, if it is taking longer time, uh, why it is taking. Many of the time, the scheduling time could be longer, and that is where you can see that it was waiting for a compute or waiting in the queue. When you see if the query is waiting for the compute or waiting in the queue, that is where you will understand, okay, I need to scale now. My scaling is not sufficient. My warehouse size is not sufficient. And I need to identify my scaling and change my scaling and warehouse size to accommodate. So when my query is ready to run, it is running efficiently. So I'll take a pause and then we can go over user part. Also, somebody asked what is shuffling in query. So you will have a different partition, because with the big data concept, your data mm, is based on which partition you're storing. For example, if you say group, if you have data for airport, right? You say group by city. So you'll select, let's say you create different partition based on different city. And then when you are running query, and if you are those cities are in different partition, then you need to shuffle partition. So that's where shuffling comes in. So again, if I'm having issue with volume, can reach out to my volume, extract the file, and then upload into their volume. So yeah, is the PK creation expected to error? Ideally, PK creation should not be expected to error unless you have null data, or unless you are recreating the same primary key, or you are trying to create your primary key on my schema and tables. I've seen people doing that. So use your own schema and tables. You can create multiple partition, yes. Okay. Are there any more questions? Okay, for people who are getting existing constraint error, they should create their own table and do not try to rerun the same constraint query, otherwise it will fail. Is there any other question I need to answer?
I think we're good, Sid. Let's hit off on the user for the last 30 minutes. This is the most fun part, so thank you all for staying.
Yeah, and this is all recorded. So if somebody is lagging behind, you have lapsed until tomorrow evening. So you can go through at your own pace until tomorrow. But then if you don't finish the content, then you will not have any way to understand how to do things when you actually start to implement in your own time. Okay. So just to go over what we did in part one is we created different levels. We created bronze table. We uploaded data in volume. Then we created streaming table for bronze. We created silver layer with materialized view, gold layer with materialized view, and then we added primary and foreign key constraint on tables. Then we went to query history and we checked how query looks like. We understood what are the different, we went over how you can select AI generated comment, and then we went over permissioning, how we can set up permissions. So yeah, so this is good. Let me go over next part. So again, you go into your workspace and you should be able to see part one and then part two. So part two is we'll create dashboard now. So basically what we will do is go to dashboard sections, right? And I have already see like there are some dashboards created. Somebody has tried to build some dashboard using NYC taxi trip analysis. So for our scenario, what we will do is we click on create dashboard, right? Once we click on the dashboard, we can actually see there are two sections. One is canvas, another one is data. Make sure before you work on dashboard, you select the compute here. So that way your warehouse compute is selected. And then what you do is you go on to the data. So what we will do into the data is we'll create data set, and what we will do is if you go to the steps, right? So I'm in the step one where I'm navigating to dashboard. So it talks about what is AIBI dashboard and what user can do. So I'll go and then and use our airport bronze, and I will use lookup code bronze table. It's easy. You go and you go to the dashboard again. You click on create dashboard, and then you click on data, and then you select a table. So what you will have to do is we have to select two tables. So one is airport bronze, and another one is lookup code bronze. So what we do is we go to our schema here, and then we select airport bronze table, and that should add airport bronze table into my data set. Then we'll go to the, again, click on select table, go to my catalog, go to my schema, and then I can add lookup code bronze table. Right? So there are like two tables. One is airport bronze, which talks about city, state, country, IT, and SQ data, and then lookup code bronze table, which will talk about what are the different lookup code for different airlines. Now, once I'm here, what are the next steps? So once I'm here, what I do is I create a materialized view, right? So what we want to do is we want to create a flight silver materialized view to clean up the data. So that way, query will know that when the data is running, it understand, okay, if I'm getting data for January, if it is month one, then it's January. If day of week is one, then it's Sunday. And then based on that, I'll create materialized view. So you can go here and click here, and then you should be able to see the query and SQL editor. If you run it, it will take some time, and then you should be able to create materialized view. Now, once we are here, we can also create another table if you want to with SQL query. So let me copy paste the SQL query and post it into chat so people can just change the schema name and create the SQL query. Okay. So in case if you want to, let's say, create a new table with SQL query, what you can do is, I'm just pasting a query into the chat, change your table name and schema name. What I'll do is you go to the dashboard. Again, there are two sections, canvas and data. So you'll go to the data, click on create from SQL, and that is where I can click on create from SQL, and then I can create a query for flight branch table and then add the primary foreign key relationship, which we created into the previous notebook. So we'll connect unique code with unique carrier, with lookup code bronze and airline data. And then we will connect airport bronze on our IATA and origin. And that should be able to give me a query. I'll try to run this query and this should be able to execute. Okay. Now we can additionally select a table which we created right now. So the materialized view table which we have created, so we can go to catalog, then go to the data, and then we can select the view we have created. So we created materialized view as flight silver MV. So I can go and then I can select flight silver MV, and then I can add this into my canvas or my data as well. Okay. So once it is there, I'll go to canvas, and what I can do is I can click on adding a visualization. So this is the visualization icon. You go here, you put visualization into your chart, right? And then I can select, I can ask question, and the question is in the notebook. So I can ask, okay, I want to know departure flights delays by month. So I can simply say here, okay, departure flight delays by month. Once I submit, it should be able to generate the chart, right? So I can go ahead and accept the data, and this should be able to show me the chart flight delays by month. So what you need to do is basically, again, you take the click on the option to add visualization. Visualization will be here. There are some recommendations which are coming automatically from AI, but you can ask question is departure flight delays by month, and then send and submit, and then it should be able to generate a chart for you. And let me delete this chart because we already have one chart. Now, once we have this chart, and once you click on the chart, you can see a couple of things on the right side, right? the one thing you see is the widget. Hitting on this widget will tell you, okay, if I want to show the title of the chart or not. I can add description here. So I can go ahead and say, this is flight delay data. And that will show me all the flight delay data. Now for the visualization, I can change the visualization type. So for example, if I want to go from bar to build combo, or if I want to pick any other visualization type, I'll be able to do that on this chart. Another thing I can do is I can add group by, so I can click on colors. And let's say if I want to know, okay, what are the matrices, so I can select date, right? And based on date, it will group, okay, when my specific data was loaded here, and based on the month, it is able to tell me, okay, for each month, this is how your data is coming in. So you can select a different color you want. If you select, let's say, combo chart, and you can select if I want to add any aggregation. So I can select aggregation, and then I can select color, and that should be able to show me a different color. So you can pretty much select here any field you want to, and then you can apply the logic you want to put here, and it should be able to build variety of charts for you the way you want to build. So that is how you build a different chart. Now you can also add your own visualization, right? So I can go here, I can add my own visualization, right? And then I can, let's say, select a pie chart. So let me select a pie chart. The data set I need is flight silver ME. Very important to make sure what data set you are selecting here. If you select some data where you don't have relevant information, then it will not be able to show you all the data. So asking question is one very good example where you don't spend a lot of time building the chart, but at the same time, I can go and I can select the data set, I can select the pie chart. In angle, I can go, and then in angle, I can select, okay, I want to select the measure count star. Now here, I can add title. So I can add title as count of arrival delays. So once you do that, and then what you can do is in color, I can go and I can group by arrive delete, right? So once I click on group by, it will be able to group by the specific on specific day, how many are arrived delayed and how many are not. So if you click on the chart, you should be able to see there were like 592K were arrived delay and 687K were not arrived. There was no arrival delay into the flight. Like, so you can build those kind of chart easily onto the dashboard. Now, when you build those chart, another important thing we do in the dashboard is we build filters. So what you can do is you can click. Before doing that, you can also add text. So if I want to add some text here, I can add text here and mention that what I want to write. So I can say SQL workshop, and then this text will be displayed, and then I can make it as markup text or do whatever changes I want to do. Once those are done, so if you are looking for the query, it is already shared into the chat. So please go there and look at the query. You can also add filters. So you can click on add filters. You can put filter. Let's say if I want to put filter here, So I can click on add filter. And then I can name the filter. So for example, I can name this filter as, let's say, flight data, right? So I can name my filter as flight data. And then what I can do once I click on the filter, I can select a column. I can select, there are options. We can select multiple values, or you can choose a date picker where you can select the date, or you can select if you want to add a text entry. So people can add text entry, or there can be a range slider, right? For this specific workshop, we can select single value, and then we can click on the field. Once we click on the field, we can select flight silver MV, and then we can select date. Right. So once I click on date, this filter is added. If you see on top, I can see the filter, but here there is an option where I can go and select a specific days. So I will know that what happened on March 18 or March 3, etc. So I can select all those details into my filter. And if you see, as this both charts are using similar filter, data is being changed on both the charts. So if I go on specific date, I will see there are departure delay, and we can see by how much time, right on the left chart, but on the right side, I can see 8:46 flight were arrived delay, but there are still 1.2K files which were on time. So we can add all those charts. We can also add parameters. So what you do is you can go to a data tab, right? And then we can select lookup code bronze as our data set, right? So once we are here, what we need to do is we can rename it to, so I can go here. I can always rename this query. I can clone it, right? I can delete it, or I can download the data, whatever you see, by clicking on this tab. Let me rename it and just follow the notebook, and you can see I can rename the query. Now here, if I want to add parameter, I need to add where condition. And after the where condition, I will say, what is my description, right? And in description, I'll just skip it back. Then what I can do is I can click on add parameter button, and then this will give me a parameter. Just to repeat, the step we did is we went to lookup code bronze, rename it to lookup code bronze parameter. We can select the data from here. To applying the parameter, we'll first add where condition. So we added where condition onto the query, put description. Then we typed equal to, then we clicked on add parameter, which created a parameter. We can click on setting, and we can change the name for parameter to, let's say, destination, and I can keep the same type as string. So you can change the name of parameter to whatever you want to do it. And then here I can add any destination. For example, if I add BOS, for example, and try to run it, and see if the filter is working, because it is either giving data or not. So based on whatever parameter you select, you should be able to get all your data for your filter. So what we can do is, as this filter is working, what we can do is we can add a query. If you are not able to write this query or still have confusion on how to build a query, I'm just pasting the query in the chat, so you guys can simply go to the chat and then use parameter query. Right. So you can update it to your catalog name and schema name, and it should be good with that. Now, once we do that, you go back to your canvas, and what we can do is in the canvas, we can add another filter button. So we can go to filter. Let's say we can add another filter here, right? For the widget title, we can say param, right? For example, I can add parameter section. And then what I need to do is you select single value as field, and then you will select, if you go to the field, you will select the destination. Yeah, so you'll go and select destination field. Yeah. So if you are not able to find, you can always search to the field. You can type destination. Select. Let me find. Destination field, it should not be destination, but it will be as a DEST. So make sure when you are selecting the field, it will be DEST. Then you can click on the parameter, select the destination parameter, and then based on the destination, both filters are changing. I can go ahead and change my destination to something else. So now there are two filters, one which is using parameters, another one which is using the date. You can use both, and that should be able to work fine. You can also do cross filtering. Basically, cross filtering is what we are doing right now is both filters are having both widgets are having similar data, and that is how they are able to if you click on one tab, it will be able to affect other tab as well, right? So that is how your cross filtering will work. So let me go and show you the next step. We just have 10 minutes. So we'll go click on the dashboard. What you can do is once your dashboard is in draft mode, it is for you. But then if you want to share with other people, you need to click on publish. What you do is you click on publish, and then you can select option. You can create an embed credential. Embed credential is basically you want people to use the credential of the owner to run the query. You can click on embed credential, and you can either copy link or publish. Once you click on publish, I can decide, do I need to give access to all users, or do I need to give access to specific people? For time being, let me give access to everybody here. So when you're working on the lab, you should be able to you can go and you can play around this dashboard, and you can get the query whatever you need from this dashboard. So you can duplicate it whatever you want to do it, so that way it will be easier for you when we close this lab. Last thing we want to cover is, like, we have less time, but I want to talk about Genie spaces. So what you will do is you click on Genie. What Genie will do is it will build intelligent data. So what you do is click on new. You create a workshop Genie. Once you are here, you can you can add a description. For now, I'm just copy pasting the description. You can select the default workspace. You can select the tables. So we can select the same table. We can select the airport bound. So I can go to the catalog. I can go to my schema. I can select airport bronze. I can select file bronze, lookup code bronze, and the MV we created, which is flight silver MV. Once that is done, my Genie room will be here. So you can, in Genie room, you can add different uh, tables, and you can manage those tables, and down the line you can add or remove this table. So, and then you can add sample example question. For example, if you're already aware of data and if somebody is using Genie, you want them to aware, okay, what type of question you can ask. Then I can click on save. Once I click on the save, this is how my Genie room will look like. I can ask question to Genie room, explain the data set, and my Genie room will be able to go and figure out, okay, what is in my data set. So it will go and it will ask question. So whatever you are looking right now is chat window. You can have multiple chats. So I can create multiple chat, or I can ask follow-up question, right? I can ask about column. I can ask about what this data does. Whenever people are getting the response from Genie, there are two ways. You can either say if the query is right or wrong. So I can go and then I can click on, okay, this response looks good to me. So that way, Genie know in the backend, okay, the benchmark was good and it was able to generate, it was able to get what I need. Now, there are a couple of things you do on Genie Room. One, instruction. So instruction are basically you add and tell Genie how to behave. For example, if your organization has financial year starting from February and ending at January, you can tell, okay, FY for my company start at FY for February. For example, if my country's code names are acronym to 2 letters, I can tell Genie, okay, if some country comes, then use this lookup table to uh, run the query. Another thing I can do is add example query. For example, I know that, okay, this kind of query people will ask. So I can say, okay, if somebody asks about, let's say, flight data, right? And somebody wants to know uh, what is the expected arrival and delay of flights in specific airport, you can add sample query and query here, and then you can generate SQL statement and add here if you want Genie Room to learn. And lastly, you can add SQL functions. So you can add specific SQL function here and say, okay, you can build your own SQL function. So you can connect to your catalog schema and connect to your function. So that can be used when Genie Room is building. For example, you have a sales commission calculation for your organization. And if you have a specific function, you can just add those function and Genie should be able to use it. Then this is what the data will look like. So you can go back and check data in this section. You can find out the history. So if somebody has asked any question, I can see all the history here. So I asked question and I did added rating as good. So I can see that I was able to get the response. But if somebody is not adding any rating, then this rating will go away. So this way you can track what was the response when the request came, who sent the request, and when it was updated. So you can see all those details in Genie here in the query history, and you can go to many months back, and you can also filter on rating request, or if you want to stick to specific user, you can always do that. Lastly, very important topic is benchmarking. So I can create a benchmark on the Genie. So what benchmark will does is that you can create a sample of question, and then Genie can answer those question for you, right? So I can click on benchmark, and then let's say if I want to ask a question, something like this. So I can add how to add a benchmark. So you'll click on add benchmark. You'll create a question. So this will be my question, and then I can copy the query. So I can copy the query, I can run it, and this will give me the output. Okay, how many flights are from Boston were delayed in March 2007? And I can add that benchmark. So benchmark can be a set of question where you are evaluating if something changing in Genie, how good it is, right? Is it able to answer my question, most of my question correctly or not? Once we do that, you click on run benchmark, and then this will be able to run the benchmark and show, okay, uh, the output. So it will take some time to run benchmark. and to give you the output. Now, if you see the query generated by Genie versus the ground truth is not right. So there are two ways. You can either put this query into, let's say, I can put this in my instruction. I can add example query saying, okay, this is my example query. I can add this query and then save, right? So this will show my example query. I can go to benchmark. Here I can try to run benchmark again. And let's try to see how Genie will perform. Right. So with the example query, I was able to guide Genie on how it should respond to specific question. My assessment is good. Genie was able to understand the ground truth and compare with model output and give you the right result. And if I go back to my benchmarks, I can see I have two benchmarks, one need correction and one needs some improvement. And I can go to my old benchmark and say, okay, this is a bad benchmark. And that way I can evaluate Genie based on different benchmark. So this is how we can build a Genie room. Now, once you build a Genie room, just like dashboard, you can share. So you can share Genie and you can give access to different people. Right? So they can go and access, ask question. Again, like previously, I can give access to everybody. So you can try, see how I added benchmark. And you can edit it. And once people go and access this, and I can always copy link and people can directly go here. And they can ask a question to Genie and get the output. So, so this is how you will do Genie. I know it was fast session. We had some challenges with compute, and some people took longer time, but I think we covered pretty much what we wanted to let you guys know. Always, you guys will have some questions, so feel free to reach out for any question, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. As Sid said, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. And as you saw in the chat, we will be sharing the recording, slides, and the lab link post event, and that will be available for your own exploration through 5 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, February 14th. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great weekend.